Hey, what's up guys, and today I'm going to be reviewing Around the World in 80 Days by Jules Verne. So let's begin! So if you know about Jules Verne, who was a great writer in the 19th century, specifically an author of science fiction. He has also wrote 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea and The Journey to the Center of the Earth and this, Around the World in 80 Days. Now, in this book, what basically happens is that firstly you must understand that this book was written in the 19th century. And I said that the Silmarillion was from the Stone Ages. Now, in the 19th century, most of Asia and most of America, as well as a lot of South America, was controlled by Great Britain. And in this story, a man called Phileas Fogg, as you can see here, has a servant called Passepartout. That was a random guess and I landed on the correct chapter. Would you look at my luck? So just like our brave adventurers over here, we are going to embark on a great journey of reviewing this book. Now, I call crude handwriting something like The Adventures of Tom Sawyer and the Yankee King's Arthur Court.
This is insulting.
Right, I have that book actually, and the writing of that is just very crude. Like, it's a second grade book, but thankfully this one is not. This book is understandable. It has some words which may not be very understandable to the untrained eye, but the meanings of these words as well as the meanings of these chapters are written right at the back of the book like Verne planned it to be. Now in this book, a British man called Phileas Fogg, who is basically very eccentric, does everything on time, which my mother likes, and has a very weird habit of going to a club, staying there for 7 or 8 hours, eating nothing but his usual routine, which is a lot of non-veg and a lot of tea. Sorry, chickens. Now, he also reads the newspaper, like I do, digitally. Then again, this is of the 19th century, so we cannot be joking about. In this book, he is challenged by a fellow friend to go around the world in 80 days, and like an absolute idiot, he accepts that. What will happen next? So, now, in this book, what basically happens is that Phileas Fogg makes a bet.
Never make bet, guys. Never make bets.
A bet of 20,000 pounds. That's a lot of money, 20,000 pounds. Obviously, he must be a rich man, and he will win 20,000 pounds if he wins the bet, and he will lose 20,000 if he loses
It is
the bet.
common sense.
So confidential. Now, the job was to go around the world in 80 days. Now, it was not to visit every place on earth. We cannot do that ever. Literally ever in our lifetime, because there are millions and millions of places on earth, and we can't be in a situation like this. Now, can we? The whole time, the poor man was going with a watch clock in his hand because they didn't even have watches. Even this is considered vintage now. Look at this. Smart is the new age. But aside from that, his servant Passepartout, I'm pretty sure that's the wrong pronunciation, so French people don't hate me, but his servant leaves the heater alone, he doesn't switch it off, so that incurs hundreds of pounds of extra cost. Really bad. In this journey, they travel through many obstacles. They use sledges, they have to steal a ship, they have to buy a ship for $60,000. What? $60,000? That's a lot of money again. And then they get arrested. And that's the whole thing. Just kidding, it's not the whole thing. So if you look at the book itself, this is obviously not the only version. There are other versions. So this is a pretty good front cover. I said back cover in my last video. I was wrong, sorry. And then we have this. Don't read this. This will just ruin the whole video. And I want viewer attention. Do not click out of this video. No, if you want to click out, then click out. I'm not forcing everyone. And as we are on the topic of click outs, if you are liking this video, then do subscribe to the channel. Now, in this book as well, there is a certain Mr. Fix who does not fix anything at all, so I don't know why his name is Mr. Fix, but he thinks that Phileas Fogg is the robber of the Bank of England. That's a pretty bold accusation, but he has a lot of proof to back it up. The robber is said to be a gentleman, he's said to have a lot of money, he's said to live a very reclusive life, he's said to have visited the Reform Club. Everything fits the deal except for the fact that Phileas Fogg is not the robber. So Mr. Fix weighs thousands of pounds himself, and he's not as rich a man as Fogg is. And as a police detective, obviously he doesn't have to pay for any of it, but it still takes a lot of time. 80 days is still a lot of time. And Phileas Fogg stops in India. He rescues a princess from Sati. Do you know what Sati is? If you don't know Sati, then wait till the end of the video. I'm sorry. Now, he rescues Princess Auda, who's the princess who gets rescued from Sati, and Princess Auda goes on to become Phileas Fogg's wife. And in the end, what happens is that Phileas Fogg makes a mistake that even a second grader in maths wouldn't, and I certainly wouldn't. He calculates the time wrongly, arrives 24 hours previously, but thinks he's lost the bet, then sits in depression for 24 hours, then when only 10 minutes are left, passe part out, now realizes that they have reached on time, but they only have 10 minutes left to enter the Reform Club. Tensions are running high, sweat is pouring down from the engineers John Sullivan and Andrew Stuart, and Phileas Fogg arrives 3 seconds before time. Thank you for bearing with me throughout this video, and it's actually called Sati, not Sati. And as for the meaning of it, it's basically an Indian religious tradition in which a Raja's widow has to burn with him in the fire or is shunned from the society. So that's a pretty bad thought. And in the end, I would like to say, do subscribe to this channel and like this video for more book reviews. Bye!